Hi, this is Saintjerome of Crypto Experiences bringing you yet another crypto experience. Today is 10/7 of 23, and we're going to play a little game with the help of Lucille Ball to introduce it called Can You Guess Who Said It? I have chosen 17 people, and we're going to quote them. 17 people. That seems like a pretty good number nowadays. 17, and we'll try to figure out who they are. Here comes the first quote. I have to cheat and kind of look at the paper so I make sure I don't forget anybody. So here we go. First one. If it's printed on a piece of paper, it's worth a piece of paper. Who said that? Five, four, three, two, one. It was Pastor Lindsey Williams. This is Pastor Lindsey Williams. He passed away a few years ago. Let's see, now take a look at him. Yes, he's a good man. Um, he was invited to help on the when they built the Alaska pipeline. He volunteered and to calm the men down. So he led different meetings, church services, prayer meetings, counseling, and he did a good job, such a good job of calming the men down. I mean, there were all these men working away from their wives and their families on the pipeline in harsh conditions, and so they were getting in a lot of roughhousing and fights and things. And he did such a great job that the CEOs of the big oil companies invite him to come to their private meetings. And folks, these are some of the elite, and they let him know since he became a friend with them what was going to happen in the next few years. And Lindsay told us quite a bit. He had two insider friends, especially. And then the new information stopped when both of them passed away before Lindsay did. And then finally, Lindsay passed away. But one of the famous quotes I heard was that one I read off: if it's written on a piece of paper, it's worth a piece of paper. That was said by one of his elite friends. He also stressed that gold and silver is the money of the elite. That was before cryptocurrency. All right, let's guess the next one. This is not too tough to do if you've been following my channel and some of my friends' channel. Litecoin is the right coin. And actually, there is a very good song saying about that. And I'm going to have two people saying this quote. The man who originated the quote as part of the title of the song, and also a group of people who are magical and meet a couple times a year and have a blast. I'm so fortunate to be part of that group. Who is it? Who are they? Five, four, three, two, one. That magical man who said Litecoin's the right coin and plays a little song. And I probably can't play it because I'll probably get a strike. So you can find it on YouTube though. But this could be another quote too from him. Hold on to your silver. Bix worked in the industry, precious metals industry, and realized that it was being set and fixed and still is, and that how crazy undervalued silver is. But he's also a Litecoin guy. That Litecoin is the very quick and powerful currency, much faster than Bitcoin. And it's a fork off of Bitcoin, folks who didn't know that. It's only going to be 84 million Litecoin ever made, giving it scarcity. And it has uh, very good speed. You can make transactions in just a few seconds. Next man is famous. Oh, wait, I didn't put down the other group. Oh, let me go back. That other group that says Litecoin is a right coin is, of course, the Litecoin fam. Here we are at a recent Westwood meetup in Peoria at the Peoria Pizza Works. We got Litecoin Lisa there. We got a lot of people back there that we know. J Mac in the middle, Daniel from Olive and Coin Flip, Polly P on the right, and of course holding up a Litecoin for the world to see. Clint Westwood in the middle, and there's who's that big, tall, handsome guy on the right side? Seems to be a little bit taller than everybody else, sporting a ballet shirt. That's me. So that's the Litecoin fam. Sorry I left out anybody there. Trying to do a good, quick podcast here. And let's go on and guess the next one. Ironically, you should be able to guess this one. This person's famous quote is, "Don't play with the chips in the vampire casino." Who could that be? Hint in the picture we just saw. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The mystery's over. It is Clint Westwood back at the Westwood Bar. And you could probably tell that that is something he wants to promote is a Litecoin. He also believes it's the right coin, but he's also always saying, don't play with the chips of Vampire Casino. Who are those vampires? Banksters. In case you didn't know by now. Let's guess the next person here. You ready? Here comes a quote. This may take all I have. Coming at you live from the apocalypse. Oh, I should have warned you. You can either turn it up or turn it down. Who is that person? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that handsome man is a famous fighter, went 36-0 at one time, now is a great fighting podcast, spilling truth everywhere. That man is Nino David Rodriguez. I enjoy listening to his podcast, and he's putting out a lot of truth. He is especially getting into metals, gold and silver. Doesn't know much about crypto, but he has a little bit. So he has a little XRP and a little other things, but he said he doesn't have much confidence in it. But again, folks, he's going a good way, going with gold and silver precious metals. So if you want to listen to an enjoyable podcast, he podcasts on YouTube a lot, but he calls it Fluff Tube. Can anybody figure out why? And so if you want to get into the meat of what he's doing, you can catch him on Rumble, and you can also pay at Nino's Corner. It's a lot of times on Nino's Corner, that's the only place you can catch some people that I really want to hear. So, all right, next quote is to wear something red or drink out of something red for our servicemen deployed. Who would that person be? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that person is the lovely Litecoin Lisa with that handsome but slightly heavier than now man of Saintjerome with Bobby E. Lee's book, The Promise of Bitcoin, at a meetup a couple years ago. So she does happy hour every Friday with Clint Westwood at 5 o'clock Central Time. And it is something to watch. I enjoy watching, and I enjoy being on it too. The next quote is, if you need $10,000 in XRP, call me and you can use my broker. Well, I'm going to go one step farther than that and say, if you need $2,000 in XRP, look at my codes down below and use my broker. So it's a battle of brokers. Who's that first man who said, if you need 10,000, you can call my broker using his code? That person is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That man is Mel Carmine, the man in the blue chair. And there is his website. I'll give him a little bit of shout. He has helped to open my eyes a little bit with XRP, and I realized that XRP is ISO 222 compliant, and it's going to replace the SWIFT system. So whether you like the coin or not, whether you think it's a banker's coin, it's going to be used. Yeah, it might be a good, not financial advice, but it might be a good idea to get something that's cheap, 51, 52 cents right now, that has the potential to go quite a bit higher because of its use case. But that's not financial advice. But Mel would say, put everything into it. I make it a little extreme, but still. Oh, and who's the one that said, check my broker down there if you want $2,000 XRP? That would be me. So here's my picture. Nothing special about that. So I think we're using the same broker, and I think it's Caleb and Brown, but maybe I'm wrong. Well, this person, I've got several quotes, and I could quote and quote and quote. First heard this person in the 90s. So he said that silver will rise to first, when it starts to rise like a rocket to the moon, it will rise to $600, but then going higher after that. Then he says it's going to reach the price of unobtainium. I like that word. So you won't be able to get silver for any cost because it's going to be too valuable to be obtained, going to be needed in technology. Then he also talked about having Christmas parties celebrating $100,000 Bitcoin. And we thought we were going to have those already, but they may be around the corner, folks. And then something recent that's kind of shook up people. But web bots of his see an event coming with 13 times the emotional release of 9/11. Yowzer. Is that a positive release or a negative release? So who is that man? Five, four, three, two, one. And that man, as you can see in character behind me, is Cliff High of halfpasthuman.com, I believe. So I first heard Cliff in the 1990s on Coast to Coast AM with a partner who didn't really have it much to go as Cliff did. Cliff has made web bots that go around the web gathering language that's unique. And then when he brings it back and runs through it, he finds that some certain phrases that are said that we knew nothing about and seem to point towards something. Huh. One of the ones that came up really early was there's going to be a sun disease. This was years ago. I was like, didn't know what sun disease was. Thought maybe it was the sun stock called sun, but the corona is on a sun. That kind of rings a bell. So it's been very, very accurate. The one thing you can't seem to do with the web bots is pin down a time. So when you think it's coming sooner, a lot of times it's later, but that would be Cliff Eye. And I like to take the input of what he says. Here's a quote from an excellent dancer. And the quote is, let's hash it out. Who could that be? Well, if you're in Litecoin fam, I bet you know. It has a podcast every Thursday. I think it starts at 5. Clint Westwood is also on this podcast. Javier and Steak. Maybe one day I'll join and throw my 2 cents worth in or so. So who is it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you look in the top left-hand corner, there's our man, Blind Dave Crypto. I love that picture. Swimming in Bitcoin. If you look in the top right-hand corner, you see Digibyte. The man did very well with Digibyte, and he's a big proponent for it. It brings a lot of news out about Digibyte. This is a format where these four gentlemen hash out different things about crypto, about life in general. So on the top right is Javier. I met Javier before, had a good discussion. He keeps calling himself old. Javier, I think I got you by a couple of years. So I feel young still. Well, anyway, I feel young. On the lower left, you have Clint Westwood. Is he drinking milk? No, I don't think so. From the famous Westwood bar. And then that handsome man, Steak. Wait a minute. Don't know what he looks like, but he must be handsome, I guess. Everybody else is here, right? The next man, see if you can figure out this one. The most terrifying news you can hear. We're from the government and we've come to help. Who is this famous man? One of my favorite quotes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is. And I'd like to have been in his place, but that man was Ronald Reagan, one of the good presidents that he tried to do a lot of things. They kind of helped silence him by taking an assassin's bullet. I'm sure it was just a lone nut man, just like the lone nut with Kennedy and the other lone nuts that shoot people. I'm sure there's no conspiracy there whatsoever. All right, the next person has a couple quotes coming. The gut punch is coming. The gut punch is coming. I have some XRP. This may surprise some people. He said that. We need 81% of the people to be red pilled. I may have paraphrased that quote a little bit. That's pretty close. But who would that person be? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, this isn't a very good photo. I cut off his head, but maybe he doesn't want to be seen. Maybe he doesn't. Excuse me, got a little in the throat. Maybe he didn't want to be seen because he might be in disguise. So, who is this man? I guess I'd say masked man. It's more like a cut off his head man. That would be Juan07. Anybody with a little gematria going on? And who's the next person on our list? I saw a big event that will change the world forever. Who is that person? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And who is that man? Who is that man? He lives in a beautiful state. with his lovely wife, and that is Dick Algire. Get a good look at Dick. I think I first heard him on Jeff Rentz several years ago, and then lately he was on Crypto Viewing, of which I was a subscriber. Then they've now gone to futureforecastinggroup.com. I'll have to say I had to drop my Patreon because I couldn't afford the new price, and I didn't think I was going to get quite the information I was doing. But Dick does have amazing skill. The group has really come up with some things. They are all seeing a big event that's going to change the world forever. Wow. And it kind of goes on with Cliff High's web boss. We don't know what that is, but they know it's a high energy event. They kind of see people kind of zombie like afterwards. So I don't know what it is. Let's hope it's not something too horribly bad for our country and for people. So that's Dick Algire, a very talented man with remote viewing. This next person is kind of a modern hero for me. I was like, wow, uh, because of the subject I know and I can use a little bit. Bitcoin Ben um, has dealt with relatives of this man in business ventures, and oh, that's too many clues probably. So here we go. Uh, he calls himself the world's coolest dictator. And then about Bitcoin, he said, it will bring financial inclusion in investment, tourism, and economic development for our country. Who is that man who said that and has transformed his country? Five, four, three, two, one. And I did a couple podcasts about him. And that man is President Bukele from El Salvador. Our friend Bitcoin Ben has been doing business in El Salvador and has opened an office in El Salvador. Wow, this man has transformed El Salvador. It was a heck hole, people. Crime was rampant. They're having like 40 murders a day. He came in, he made Bitcoin legal tender. Wow, along with the US dollar. It made them go from about 25% banked in the country to about 75% banked. He gave Chivo gave $30 to everybody who downloaded the Chivo wallet, which was an amazing move, which got everybody into crypto. And at first, of course, they're very hesitant because they didn't understand this electronic stuff. And there's a lot of the old people. Yeah, sorry. And but no, wow, a lot of foreign investments coming in now, and it's transformed. The gangs have been put in prison for the most part. There was families that hadn't left their homes at nighttime for like 30 years because they would have been killed going outside. They were holding people up on the buses, and now he's got armed guards guarding the folks everywhere. They've made different attractions. It's just becoming a beautiful place to go. Putting in infrastructure, major highways, put in bridges. Great. Now the downside here I can see is he says he's the world's coolest dictator, benevolent dictator. I'd say that's pretty true. He wields a big stick. But what happens if he were to flip or someone else came in and take his infrastructure? That could be bad. But El Salvador had to do something. And right now, it's going great for everybody. Great for foreign investors. We're getting near the end. We got looks like we got four more people to go through to get to that magic number 17. One of my favorites. Love it. His giving too much away. Let me just tell you his famous one word quote, and then we'll talk about it a little bit there. Okay, so five, four, three, two, one. Oh, then hear the quote. Duh. His quote is jabroni. Five, four, three, two, one. Oh, I really block out this guy, but it is Joe Snips of Realist News. I'm a Patreon of Joe, and it's worth every penny. He's very good at the higher tier of getting back to you, and he's helped me answer several questions for prepping. If you're in the prepping, for crypto, he warns his Patreons of things coming up. I had some friends who had relatives that got scammed, and I double checked to make sure I was right. They got scammed, and yep, one poor guy, blue collar guy, lost $75,000. He thought he was mining Bitcoin on his cell phone. Yipes! I felt bad for him. So anyway, that is Joe Snips. I think his channel on YouTube right now is Snips 4. He's had a couple different ones. So he doesn't come on podcasts a lot lately, but when he does come in, he has some pretty neat things to say, and definitely worth Patreon. You definitely get your money's worth. All right, the next person is going. He said, cryptocurrency is such a powerful concept that it can almost overturn governments. And then this will give it away. Litecoin is like my kid. Who is that man who is brilliant and has a brilliant brother also that very famous in the crypto world? Five, four, three, two, one. Well, I can bounce between the two. Okay, it is Charlie Lee of Bitcoin. His brother is Bobby E. Lee, who is the founder of the Ballet Wallet, of which I am an ambassador. You get a little uh, code down below. But Charlie invented Litecoin, which is a fork off of the Bitcoin network. He wanted to improve Bitcoin. Bitcoin, he realized, was a little too slow, and he came up with Litecoin, which is 4 times bigger, basically Bitcoin, as far as is much faster. The blocks are 4 times bigger. I think are 32 megabyte blocks versus 8 megabyte blocks. Um, you can do pretty much everything on that Bitcoin does. You can do it on Litecoin, um, and they have it uses a Lightning network. It can go super fast, and also they have what's Mimblewimble, and you go into a layer above the regular blockchain. You go kind of anonymously across, and Litecoin gets over there, and you can't tell who sent the Litecoin. You can't Litecoin. You can't see where it went. Wow. Anyway, that's Charlie Lee, and as the Litecoin family says, Litecoin is right coin. Thank you, Charlie, for all what you've done for us. Andy's a really nice guy. Next to the last person here, Quota is saying years ago, majority of the world uh, will be using cryptocurrency within 5 years, and maybe not quite the timeline he had, but because this is about the fifth year now, but it's really edging that way. This person helped me several times in the past, and who is he? Five, four, three, two, one. And that man is Ben Simchi, otherwise known as Bitcoin Ben. His shirt says, "Want to know about Bitcoin? I know a guy." That's Bitcoin Ben. Boy, Ben's got his fingers and toes in a lot of crypto endeavors, and that he would like you to join his big club where people can also branch off of that. So he's got a footprint in El Salvador. He has a cryptocurrency club in Florida. Him and Patrick sell Calyx Solutions computers. One of those computers keeps your crypto offline and safe as a backup. Another one using the same principle is called a Liberty computer. Lets you surf the web if you're a little bit more liberty minded. Maybe you are a conspiracy realist also. So that's Ben. Ben helped me set up in Divi a long time ago. Now Divi isn't so hot now, but I'm okay. I I basically got a free computer out of it. I made enough money back early on in Divi that got paid for what I invested, and now um, and I had enough left over to get a computer, so it worked out okay for me. And Divi's so cheap now; you can get a node pretty dang cheap because it's like sub penny. I think I paid at a penny, so yeah. At one time, went up to 16 cents. A little bit of hindsight, maybe I should have sold out at that time, but oh well. I still did okay, and Ben's a great guy. And the last person is very important to me in my personal life, in my family's personal life. Um, he has said some amazing things, and definitely more people probably know this man than any other man that has ever been. He wasn't just man, but he was also most. Some people think he's also God. I'm one of those people. Other people believe he is a prophet, so highly revered. So, can you guess who that would be? I bet you figured it out already. And here's his quote. Okay. My house will be called a house of prayer, but you're turning it into a gathering place for thieves. You can replace thieves nowadays with banksters. Who was that person? No time to guess. It is, was, and is Yeshua, Jesus, Jesus, as you know him in different things. What's he doing here? He came into the temple, and these money changers were selling different things to. Hold on a second. So Yeshua came into the temple and overturned the thieves, which seem to be banksters in today's world. So, well, thanks for coming to this podcast. I think it was kind of a fun thing for me to do. I hope it was fun for you. I could have put a lot more personalities on there too, but I thought 17 was a clever number. Look down below, and I have some discounts for you, special discounts for Caleb and Brown if you have some, especially if you're going to go $2,000 worth of crypto or so. They'll do that for you. Pretty much get all the main cryptos for sure. Very simple to work with, and you get a broker. I mean, my gosh, you get like if you use my code, I think you get a 3.5% permanent discount. And so if you did $2,000 in trade, dang, that's $70, and you get a private broker to get through with you like that. They've been very helpful every time I called and had a question or tried to do things. So definitely give them a thumbs up, but not financial advice. Wow, silver is dropping like a rock right now. It's gone up a little bit lately, and especially premiums have come off of like a lot of sovereign coins. Premiums have come off of the American Eagle and junk silver. So if you want to get a good price on Miles Franklin, they are great precious metal dealers. Look down below and tell them that Saintjerome sent you, please. That's Saintjerome. And there's other little discounts down there to help you. I'm having a 440 subscriber contest. I will send you a gift card from Ballet that has 10,000 Satoshis on it. And I'm also doing a 500 subscriber contest. We're getting close to 440. I have a 500 subscriber contest, and I'll make that one a big one. I'll make that 100,000 Satoshis. That's about $28. I'm going to cap it at a $50 value, though, in case Bitcoin goes crazy. And I'll send that directly to your wallet. I've done that already. If you give me your public key, it's not your private key. You guys don't do that. If you give me your public key, I can send it right to you. If you can't get a gift card, if you're not living in the continental United States, it will be just sent to your wallet address you have. If you're living in the United States, I can send you a Ballet gift card that contains that amount. So, well, thanks for watching today. I had fun doing this podcast, and please hit a like and subscribe. That helps me get more viewers and gets me higher up on the algorithm so people can see my podcast. Thank you very much, and you have a good day. Goodbye.